If you asked an artist, what's the world made of? An artist. The artist would say colors and shapes and forms and sounds and tastes and textures and smells, fragrances. And that's the world. That's the world I experience. A great artist can imagine that world in their mind or in their awareness, and then they can create a magnificent painting that represents not only a modality of experience in the form of those five perceptions, but a great artist can also render a painting in such a way that when you look at the painting, Mona Lisa or Van Gogh's paintings, or some of the great artists of all time, Monet and many others, Eastern and Western, from the Arab world, you see that their paintings not only reflect beauty as in a person or in an object, but they also reflect the artist's thoughts and feelings and imagination and emotions and conundrums and aspirations. It's all there in the painting. Sistine Chapel. I mean, all you have to do is look at it and you know what was going on in the mind of Michelangelo. So too with the great works of Leonardo da Vinci or any of the great artists. Okay, so artists render in shape, form, color, sound, and other perceptual experiences, render the experience of existence as perceptions, but also as feelings, as images and thoughts. Then, science comes along. Science says, what you're seeing is not really fundamental. That's a human experience, a human perception. And of course, perceptions are different in different species. The perception of an owl or a cat or a dolphin or an elephant or an insect with 100 eyes is different from yours. So the perceptions are unreliable. In the past, I've referred to them as magical eyes. But scientists say, but these perceptions are made of more fundamental aspects of existence. And you say, what are these fundamental aspects of existence? Well, they're atoms, molecules, force fields, gravity, space-time, energy, information, etc. So whilst that is true, we can take today AI, artificial intelligence, VR, and even augmented immersive reality, and we can manipulate our perceptions through the movement of what we call digital information, the on-off, literally the on-off, the fluctuation of electrons and photons and particles. Okay, we can measure that. We can create algorithms, and then we can create an AI, artificial intelligence. We can create augmented reality just by moving and shifting those atoms and particles through mathematical algorithms. So we can program, and then we can also program what is called deep learning and feedback loops, and even the painting can evolve, let's say, as it evolves in the mind of the artist. The painting, the piece of music, etc., can evolve as an experience through mathematical algorithms. And that's true. I mean, today you can use AI, deep learning, to create anything you want. Okay, and that's being done right now. So this is more fundamental level of reality: atoms, molecules, force fields, gravity, energy, information. More fundamental level of reality. So that is, now we can do anything an artist can do through science. A chef is an artist who specializes in taste. somebody who makes fragrances and is an artist who specializes in the nuances of olfactory experience. A sculpture takes same thing, art in the mind, modalities of experience, and expresses them as a sculpture, as a beautiful piece of sculpture, marble piece of sculpture, David from Michelangelo, etc. So artists are of all kinds. A musician takes sound as a modality of experience and creates music, and people create art and literature all through sound, okay? Music, poetry, fiction, art, movies, all of this is the shifting of electrons and photons at a fundamental level. And these are deeper modalities of experience of the world. And that experience of the world includes our own body, includes our mind as part of the pattern of behavior of the world. So where did these algorithms come from? Where did the idea of molecules, emotions, force fields, gravity come from? It came from an experience, whatever that experience is. The experience could be a microscope you're looking at with what you these days call the ultra-stroboscopic microscope that looks at the movement of atoms and particles. The Hadron Collider looks at the smashing of particles with each other. But there has to be an awareness that knows that experience. So just like the world on a perceptual level is created by sensations, sense perceptions, images, feelings, thoughts, so too are the finer elements created as constructs that we call atoms, particles, bosons, photons, electrons. But first, we have to have an experience and a knowing that these things exist, whatever that mode of knowing is, detecting virtual particles or detecting gravitational fields or electromagnetic activity anywhere in the universe, has to be a mode of knowing. And therefore, as a mode of knowing and experience, it's also a perception and a cognition. And you can't have perception and cognition unless there is an awareness and a consciousness that is experiencing perception and cognition. Now, it turns out that that awareness or cognition that is experiencing the perception and cognition, that awareness cannot be localized because it has no form, no boundaries, and therefore it's infinite and causeless and spaceless and timeless and fundamental and irreducible. It's infinite, and it's infinitely creative, infinitely self-regulating, infinitely evolving. It has infinite imagination. It has infinite self-regulation, and every aspect of it is infinite, and we are that. We are that infinite organizing power that conceives the idea of atoms, molecules, and force fields through a very fundamental level of experience, microscope, telescope, instrument. And the body is part of the instrumentation. And the mind too, because the mind has to interpret it. So body, mind, atoms, force fields, particles, gravity, energy, information are actually the same entity. And this entity is a self-knowing entity that we call consciousness. Consciousness knows itself as experience. Then it models the experience through mathematics and science. It can recreate the experience. And all it is doing is it's knowing itself as both subject and object of experience. And you are that. Tattvamasi, aham brahmasmi. And that's all there is. Okay, what is that? Is truth, fundamental truth. What is that? Existence. What is existence? Awareness. And what is the experience of this fundamental level of existence? Infinite joy. Why? Because it has no limitations. So this is what it means to exist without limitations. And I hope this is clear. There's no hard problem of consciousness. Consciousness is all there is. And then there is experience, which is the fluctuation of consciousness. Okay, I hope this makes sense to you. I enjoy recording these anyway.